Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Unmade for WarCry. Let's get started. So we're down at the table with the Unmade. New warband came out today, 10th of August. Looks like you're going to get a Blissful one, Ascendant ones, a Joyous one, and Awakened ones. 5 stat cards, and what I really like the name of these guys. It's even though that they're kind of like the self-mutilation style army, they all have happy names for their units, so that's cool. So let's go ahead and crack this open. Let's probably go this way because it's going to be a tray, so we don't want to dump the tray out. Okay, so we'll take a look at the book first. Oh, cool. All right, so you get 4 25mm, 3 28, 132, and 140. So it looks like the leader is the one that's going to be on the 40. So, and you get 3 half sprues. Let's see. All right, so definitely the connection points I can already tell are going to be kind of fiddly. So you have one connection point for the leader that's going to connect into this small terrain piece, and then that's going to go down. So transporting these guys is probably going to be a challenge, just to make sure you don't snap any of these pieces off. The next guy looks like he's going to be a bit easier to get together, just because, yeah, he'll just have to be careful with the way the arms and stuff go together. And then the next up, you've got Awaken one with Flail, Awaken one with Brutal Polearm, and then you're Ascended. So, all right, let's take a look at the sprues real quick, and then we'll study the unit cards. All right. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. A lot of little fiddly bits. There's one of their faces. That's cool. Let's see. So you got a little cleaver there. Looks like a whip. Or no, that's a 3-pronged mace. There's a specific name for that weapon. I just don't remember what it is. And you got your... Oh, there's a specific name for this kind of weapon too, and I'm drawing a blank. Darn it. All right. That's cool. Okay, let's look. So yeah, there's 2 of the half sprues, and then the final sprue here. It's got some whips and stuff on it. Now I know for some of the units you can model them without their mask on, so you can see their flesh, but I'm not finding that piece. I might have missed it on the other one. I just wanted to see what that one looked like specifically, because I was excited for that piece. But anyway, yeah, so they are definitely going to be, looks like they're simple to assemble, but you're going to have to take some extra caution, because a lot of these pieces will break if you're just willy-nilly with this army. All right. So this has your abilities in all languages. So we'll slide those away. And then your fighter types and your cards. So let's go ahead and go over the fighter types real quick. Again, you have your Blissful one, your Joyous one, your Awakened one with Flail, and then Awakened one with Brutal Polearm, and then Ascended one. So just from the bat here, it looks like these guys are going to be more of your swarmy army. So you're going to have your Blissful one and your Joyous one, and then you're going to just fill out your points with various versions of these. So let's go ahead and take a little closer look at the cards, and then we'll come back to the abilities. All right, so here's your leader. Movement of 8, 20 wounds, toughness of 4 with the leader rune mark. Let's see, range 1, 5 attack dice, 4 strength, 2 6. So that's good. That's a good profile for a leader. He can definitely, he can take a hit or two, but you don't want to have him in combat forever. All right, next up is your Joyous one. Moves 5. That's interesting. I guess this guy's modifications that he did to his legs make him move faster, because this guy only moves 5. 15 health, 4 toughness again, 1 4 4 2 4. So that's a solid. I have a feeling that his rune mark here is going to give him the ability that makes him special. So, but at 145 points, it's decent. You could take a couple of those if you needed to. All right, so then you're going where this is going to be the Awakened one with Brutal Polearm. So movement of 4, toughness of 3, 10 wounds. So yeah, this is your chaff guy at 60 points. He's got a range 2 weapon, 2, 3, 1, 4. So these guys, they may poke for a couple of damage here or there, but they're basically going to be used to be tying stuff up, honestly. I don't foresee you winning any games with just an Awakened one. And then here is the Awakened one with a Flail. So same points value. Yeah, so honestly, so the only difference here is it loses a crit damage. With the pole arm, he has 4 for his crit. So he has a close range weapon at range 1, but then a reach weapon at range 3, 1, 2. So at the same points, mixing and matching these guys aren't going to be too bad. It'll take a little bit of practice to see if it's better just to take these guys over the other guys. So, but no rune mark still. All right, and then you have your Awakened one. And so 4, toughness 4, 10 wounds. He does have a rune mark. 1, range 1, 4 attacks, 4. So these guys are kind of your heavy hitters, and that is prevalent there because he's 125 points. So yeah, looks like your Joyous one is going to be your specialist. Bliss for 1, of course, is your leader, and then your Ascended ones are kind of your heavier troops, and then your Awakened ones are going to be your chaff. So it'll be interesting to see how to put an army together. Then you just get your extra unit card there, so if you're running more than one, you don't have to have more than one card. So let's take a look at these, because this is, of course, their abilities is really where they're going to shine. It was interesting. It's a little bit more limited of an army than I anticipated. So, starting off, we've got a faction-wide double, Nightmarish Visage. Pick a enemy fighter within a number of inches of this fighter equal to the value of this ability and roll a dice. On a 3+ until the end of the battle round, that fighter cannot make move actions or disengage actions. Okay. So you're scaring them so bad that they don't want to move anywhere closer to you. So that's cool. And it's end of battle round too. So if you catch somebody before they activate, that will definitely help. Then you could lock people into combat too, because then they can't get out of combat. So, and then you got another faction-wide double. Until the end of this fighter's activation, if attack action made by this fighter scores any hits or critical hits, subtract 1 from the toughness characteristic to a minimum of 1 of the target fighter until the end of battle round. Okay. Okay. So I get, yeah. So it's definitely a swarm. Swarm mechanics, I can see swarm mechanics here. So if you surround somebody with like 3 of the polearm dudes, or even get some of these guys in there, and you spend a double, then the next guy that's going to be hitting is going to be hitting easier. And then if you spend another double, then the next guy is going to be hitting even easier. So they're definitely going to be that gang up style swarm army, it seems like to me. All right, then this is going to be what was on this guy. So those are, what were those called again? Sorry, I got the Ascended one. So the Ascended one rune mark is a double chain Goret. Pick an enemy fighter within 5 inches of this fighter and roll a dice. On a 3 or 4, allocate 1 damage point to that fighter. On a 5 or 6, allocate a numbered damage to that fighter equal to the value of this ability. Holy crap. So that's a burst damage attack, of course, but that's 5 inches. That is a crazy threat range. So, I mean, you still have to roll a dice, but you have a solid chance of doing at least a 66% chance of doing damage, roughly. That's intense. I like that. And it's just the one. So now, yeah, so that definitely explains some of his profile being that high of points, because this ability is gross. Especially because it's still a double. Okay, so triple. That's the Flaying Frenzy, which was going to be on your Joyous one. Yeah. So here's the Joyous. So your Joyous one has a triple. Flaying Frenzy, roll a dice for each visible enemy fighter within 3 inches of this fighter. On a 3 to 4, allocate 1 damage point to the fighter being rolled for. On a 5 or 6, allocate a number of damage points to the fighter being rolled for equal to the value of this ability. Okay, so he gets 2 less range, but he can do it to every fighter within 3 inches. So that's cool. I like that. And it's a triple. So it's a bit easier to come across as well. And then you've got your last triple here for your leader. Vessel of Torment. A fighter can use this ability only if an enemy fighter has been taken down by an attack action made by them this activation. This fighter makes a bonus move action. Then they can make a bonus attack action. Oh, okay. Interesting. So they're actually trying to force you to get your leader into combat. And I mean, at a 2/6, it's fine. I'm just a little nervous about the toughness 4 with only 20 wounds. He's not gonna be able to stand tall to very many attacks. But you do have a good solid chance of taking somebody out, especially if they're already wounded or if you run into a chaff guy. So if you run your triple, you may be able to kind of vengeance your way through a couple of guys. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And then last but not least, you have a faction-wide quad, Gift of Agony. This fighter makes a bonus attack action. Add 1 to the strength and attacks characteristic of that attack action if this fighter has any damage points allocated to them. So that definitely flows with their theme of the whole self-mutilation thing, because for those who don't know, if you look at this card, this is the face of this dude. When he started his mutilation and changing his body and stuff like that, when he became an unmade one, their whole thing is they cut their own face off and they wear it on their belt. So really creepy army, not for everybody, but the Gift of Agony, since they're hurting, they get a little stronger. So that definitely goes with the theme of their army. So my takeaway is these guys are definitely going to want to use some gang up swarm tactics. You're going to want to get in there, and you are going to want to use your barbed, probably like roll through these, so like your nightmare visage to get somebody so they can't leave battle. Pop a couple of barbed strikes so that way their toughness gets lowered, and then roll in with your leader with a vessel of torment, because then he can just roll through people that have lower toughness. So should be interesting to test out. Definitely like the way that everything in here looks, but yeah, I think that will do it for this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon if you haven't already. And yeah, like I said, that'll do it for us. So thanks for watching. You guys stay safe and have fun.